You're listening to the Street Smart Wealth Experience, show number 354, and today we're going to be talking about being very clear and getting clarity behind what it is that you actually sell so that you can position it in a way that gets your audience to lean in. Welcome to today's show. I'm so thrilled to have you here, and I hope that you are ready to dive in and get some clarity around what it is that you actually sell so that you can create more success in your business. Man, where does time go? As I'm recording this part of the show, it is almost halfway through February. Now, clarity was our theme for January, and I recorded the shows on my Facebook Live, but got a little behind in getting everything set up and processed, so I do apologize. The next couple of shows will be left over from January, and then we'll get caught up, and I'm going to run them through every couple days so that you can stay on top, and I can stay better on top. Don't forget to join us over at streetsmartwealthschool.com, our Facebook group. And then don't forget that I go live on Facebook every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific here in the United States. And then am recording those and adding those to this show. But if you want to get on live and ask any questions, you're certainly welcome to do that. And then if you haven't booked a strategy call with me, a free consultation call where we can kind of go through what's working, what's not working, and what you'd like to have working, then you can certainly get that scheduled at call.streetsmartwealth.me. All right, let's hop into today's show. And you'll find the show notes at 354.streetsmartwealth.me. Today, in this particular training, we are continuing with our series on clarity. Now, we talked before about getting very clear and having clarity around your values and your priorities in life. And hopefully, you've taken some time to do some thought downloads, go through the process, and really work out for yourself your values and your priorities. Today, we're going to talk specifically about clarity around what it is that you actually sell. And I believe that this is one of the biggest sticking points in why so many people don't have success, especially my clients in network marketing, direct sales, and party plan. Now, what happens very often when I talk to people, whether I'm out at a networking event or if I'm chatting with somebody on Facebook or social media, or if somebody gets on a consult call with me so that we can kind of go through what it is that's keeping them stuck and see if working together in a coaching partnership may be a fit for them. When I ask them what it is that they do, what they sell, when I ask them for specifics about their business, what they most often do is they tell me their company name or they tell me a product name of what it is that they sell, that they market. And the reality of it is, for any of us, that is not what you sell. I don't care if you sell Mercedes-Benz. You don't even really sell a car. You sell a solution. You sell the ability to get from point A to point B, right? That's what we're looking for when we buy a car. Plain and simply, we need transportation. We need to get around. Now, we choose the type of car that we buy based on the experience that we want, the budget that we have, different things like that. So the most important thing to always keep in mind when you're thinking about the clarity around what it is that you actually sell is what you're selling is the transformation that your client, your potential customer, and the person who you're speaking with, what is the transformation that they're going to experience? And so many people don't take the time to actually do this, and it's really what's keeping them stuck. So there's a solution that your potential client or customer is looking for. They've got a challenge. Do you know what that specific challenge is? Do you know what that list of challenges are that your potential client is looking for? It's never the widget that you sell. It's never the item that you sell. And you may have heard this before, but people don't go to a hardware store to buy a drill. They don't come home after purchasing a drill with buying a drill on their mind. Nobody wakes up and says, I think today I'm going to go buy a drill. No, they have a challenge. They need a solution. They need a hole in the wall, typically is what it is. They need something that the drill provides so that they can hang the picture and create the atmosphere, create something in their home that it is that they're looking for. So hopefully that story, I know that it's old and you've probably heard it before, but it's so very true. And again, back to the car story. Nobody buys a car just to buy a car. They're looking for a solution. They're looking for transformation. They've got to get back and forth to work, or they're taking a trip, or have to get a second car because they're running kids around. Whatever it is, that's what they're looking for. They're not actually looking to spend a ton of money on 4 wheels and a body and a steering wheel and all the rest of it that fits in the garage. They are looking for that solution. So be thinking constantly, what is the transformation that you provide, that your product or service or that your offer provides, that your potential client is looking for? So the first thing that you want to do is really hone in on who is your ideal client. Now, again, speaking to my network marketers, most of us are taught by our company training that everyone potentially is your client. And while that is true, everyone potentially could be your client or customer, and that includes buying your product or service or joining your team, whatever it is, anybody potentially could be. But the more that you can dial in on who your ideal client is, what's their age, what's their demographic, are they married, do they have kids, what is the biggest challenges, what are the biggest challenges that they have that your offer provides a solution to? So identify who that ideal client is, and don't worry, that's who you're going to speak to mostly. But when you do that, you'll still cast a wide net and find those other people who may not fit that demographic perfectly, but who still are within your ideal client range. So identify that ideal client, okay? And then identify what the challenges are that they have. 1 challenge, 5 challenges, 10 challenges, whatever it is, identify what those challenges are and learn how to speak to that challenge before they can even tell you what it is. What's the solution that you provide? Now, as you're identifying what that challenge is, you also want to identify what other solutions have they maybe already explored to provide that answer to them. And maybe something about that solution didn't quite fit, which is why they're still looking. Brainstorm what those things might be. And then as you're sharing your solution, you might hit on that and explain why your solution is different. Why working with you, buying your offer, whatever it is that you're offering specifically in your company, why that's going to be different for you. So what I want to do is give you a couple of different examples, and I'm going to speak first to network marketing and the different product lines within network marketing. I may not hit on yours, so you can always ask a question, leave it in the comments below, or tweet it over to me, or ask me somewhere specifically to yours and I can help you with that. But let's take skincare, for instance. I'm going to start with skincare just because I'm going to speak to my own challenges with skincare routines. Now, way back in the day, I went to the Nordstrom counter and went and had the whole makeover and the whole skincare thing and everything else with big product lines there. And I spent hundreds of dollars coming home with a kit of skincare products that had anywhere from 7 to 10 steps of what I had to do in the morning and what I had to do at night. And here's the reality of that. And I know I speak for many, many women specifically. Men, I'm guessing I definitely speak for you. Most of us aren't going to go through all those steps on a regular basis. 3 steps, 3 products, for the most part, is what we're looking for. So if you can take your skincare product that you're offering, if you can take that and figure out a very simple solution that's going to hit on that primary challenge of your ideal client, you're going to make many more sales, okay? So in most cases, it can involve a 10-step process. We don't have time in the morning. We're getting ready to go to work. We're getting kids ready. We're making lunches, breakfast, getting people out and about. We don't have time for that in the morning. At night, it's the same thing. We're tired. We just want to do the bare minimum and fall into bed and go to sleep so that we can get up and do it again. So how can you figure out your ideal client for skincare, figure out what their biggest challenges are? That would just be one of them, time and too many steps, and figure out how to address that challenge and offer that solution before they can even tell you about it. Okay, that's skincare. Now I'm going to address send out cards because I have a lot of send out cards clients. Send Out Cards is a relationship marketing tool. It's not a greeting card and gift system. A lot of people like to think that, but it's a relationship marketing tool. It's a follow-up system that everyone in business can use and benefit from, without a doubt. But most of my clients in Send Out Cards and most of the people who I experience at BNI or different groups, or I listen to their commercials, and they lead with the company name, which quite frankly means nothing to anybody, and they talk about the greeting cards and this and everything else. That sounds confusing and difficult and time-consuming to most business owners. What they're really looking for is a client retention system. They're looking for a way to stay top of mind, to maintain those clients that they already have and create referrals. So again, you've got to look at the transformation that you provide, who your ideal client is, and be able to speak to that. Next one, let's move on to, and this will be my last of the network marketing examples, and that is weight loss. Well, here's the reality of it. Diets don't work, and we all know that. And most weight loss programs really and truly don't work unless you get to the root cause, okay? So you can have a great weight loss system in your network marketing company, but more than anything, you've got to begin to get behind the mindset of why it is that people overeat, why they don't stick to a fitness program, why they don't stick to using the products that help generate the weight loss, whatever it is. You've got to begin to get to the heart of that. And that's one of the things that I love coaching on in the Street Smart Wealth Academy, is how to move beyond, especially for my network marketing and direct sales clients, how to move beyond just selling that product and selling the value in working with you as a coach. You don't have to actually be a coach, but if you can coach them through systems and through what you've learned and what you've experienced and what others have within your company, if you can help coach people along as to why using your product is going to be a benefit to them, and how your support, your accountability, and what you're going to put into the customer experience that they have is going to be a benefit for them, you will make many, many, many more sales. Now, a lot of times when I talk to my clients about that, they get kind of tripped up because that's not necessarily what the company training is teaching. That's not what their upline is teaching. Here's the thing. These are words that will screw with you forever if you keep repeating them. And that is, well, that's not how we've done it in the past, or that's not how the company typically does it, or that's not the way I was taught to do it. Anytime that you can do anything to set yourself apart, and I really truly believe in the health and wellness area of network marketing specifically, there is so much competition, so many products that sound the same, that you've got to do something to differentiate yourself and set yourself apart. So if you'll commit to a little bit of effort putting that into it, you're going to create more sales, you're going to create better client retention, and you're going to create more referrals. And so ultimately, the little bit of time and groundwork that you put into doing that now is going to pay off for you over and over and over again. And it's actually going to lessen the amount of time that you need to put into things, because you're going to have an army of ambassadors out there marketing for you. I hope that makes sense. Now, moving on to other professions that I coach within, real estate, for instance, people don't buy a house, they buy a home, they buy an experience, they buy a neighborhood, they buy neighbors, they buy what they believe is going to create a lifestyle for them that they're really looking for. So the last thing that you want to do is say, I sell real estate. That's not what you do. You sell an experience. So again, what's the transformation? Why are you different than the dozen or so other real estate agents that they already know? How do you set yourself apart? And then same thing with coaching. Coaching has become a really, really big profession. And I feel fortunate that I got started coaching in 2005. So I've been part of the profession for a long time, kind of before it was a thing. And it's a great experience. And I love working with other people. I love helping them have that transformation that helps them move their business forward. That's really what I focus on. I focus on being a mindset, confidence, and business transformation coach so that I can help people get the results that they really and truly want. Whatever business, whatever product or service it is that they sell, they have to learn those specific skill sets. They have to learn some of that very important stuff that's going to set them apart and make a big difference. So how are you different? How are you differentiating yourself from everybody else who's out there who does what it is that you do? Okay, it's not that hard. You've got many gifts and talents that you bring to the table, and you want to share those so others really experience that. So that's a little bit really on the clarity behind what it is that you sell, what your product, service, or offer is. It's never the name of your company. It's never the name of any of your products. It's the transformation that your client or potential client or customer is going to experience by working with you, by buying your product or service, whatever it is that you offer. So get very, very clear on that. So in the Street Smart Wealth Academy, I coach very thoroughly on those. We go very in depth on what that means. We go through and we define your top 3 client avatars. So you have a very specific set working demographic that you can create your entire marketing strategy around. So that when you get up and think, gosh, I'm going to a networking event, what is it I'm going to say? Who am I going to speak to? You don't have to worry about that. When you're looking at creating your social media content, you go back to those client profiles and you know what you're going to create based around that. Then we can create that content marketing calendar around that. So we get very specific on those client avatars. We go very in depth into how to position yourself. What are those things that you're going to say? If you do go to that networking event, if you are involved in a group on social media, how do you position yourself and share what you do in a way that doesn't seem salesy, doesn't seem weird to you, just flows naturally off your tongue and explains in a great way what you do and what that transformation is going to be. You're going to position yourself. You're going to learn how to position your audience so they are receptive to what you have to say. They hear it, and then you're going to position your offer in a way that addresses that challenge that you know that they have before they even have the chance to talk about it, and you offer that solution. And then from there, we really get into authentic selling, because that's the other piece that so many people miss, is that once they've opened up that conversation, they begin having those conversations and sharing what they do. They don't know how to take it down the process and actually ask for the sale, actually create that offer, make that offer so that people are ready to sign up, ready to buy, ready to try. And that's such an important part of it. You want to know how to make the offer and you want to know how to close the sale. And we get very in depth in that in the Street Smart Wealth Academy. So if you are even curious, just go to streetsmartwealthacademy.com. You can book a consultation call with me. Let's get on the phone and talk about what those primary struggles that you're having right now. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? And we'll talk about some ways that we can work together to create that transformation for you. I absolutely love helping people get into the mindset of what's the drama and what's holding them back, develop those business skills, and then, just keep moving themselves forward. So I do have some homework for you. Homework number 1, if you haven't booked a consult call with me or you're ready to get on a second one, go to streetsmartwealthacademy.com. Let's get that booked, okay? And then I want you to do a thought download. We talked about this. We go into this in depth in the Street Smart Wealth Academy, but I want you to do a thought download on everything that you can come up with, all of your thoughts around your ideal client, what their challenges are, and then what the solutions are that you provide. I want you to set a timer for 5 minutes and just write everything that you can, free flow write everything that you can about those particular items. Who your ideal client is, what their biggest challenges are, and what the solution is that you can provide. And you can actually even do those in different 5-minute intervals if you want. Then I want you to go through and work the process on those. Ask the important questions. Okay, get clear on what thoughts are going through your head about it, what stories you're making up in your mind, and how those are keeping you stuck from taking the action and getting the results that you know you deserve and that you want. All right, so hopefully you have some clarity now around who your ideal client is, and then also how to position your offer in a way that makes sense to them, how to really share what you sell in a way that's going to get them to buy from you, refer you, and become a loyal ambassador for your brand. All right, I will see you on the next show. If you would like even more tips and training, I have a free gift for you over at streetsmartwealth.me. It's my guide, Unleash the Power of Social Selling. If you're ready to stop struggling in your business and develop a sales and social media strategy to attract your ideal clients, team partners, and create the success you dream about, grab the guide right now over at streetsmartwealth.me. You'll find more on my blog at streetsmartwealth.com, as well as my Facebook group, streetsmartwealthschool.com, and follow me on Instagram at Jackie Ulmer. And make sure you learn more about the Street Smart Wealth Academy over at streetsmartwealthacademy.com. I'll see you on the next show.